Welcome to Groundhog Garage. In this video I'm going to be building another one of these bikes, a little bit smaller. This is a 36-inch seat height. I'm going to try and get it down to 32 on this next one. What I do is I draw it out to scale on here, and then I can pull all my angles and transfer them to the metal I'm cutting, and I just use something like this or a speed square. Having a carpentry background, using the rectangular tubing kind of makes it easier for me. Take this gauge and I put it on here, line it up, and it'll say for a miter cut, use inner steel. For a single cut, use outer steel. So I know that this will be 38 degrees. So 38 degrees will make this angle right here. These holes here are the engine mount holes. The engine actually bolts through this center frame member here. And when you're going through tubing like this, what I do is I take and cut some metal pipe here, or tubing, and I'm gonna cut this to 2 inches. This is 2 inches wide. I'm gonna put this 2-inch piece into here and here and weld it in on both holes, weld it in on the bottom, grind it flush, and then re-drill it to my bolt size, this piece right here, and you can kind of see how it lines up with the engine mounting bolts. Now those pieces of pipe are welded inside of the frame. They'll act as a kind of a sleeve for the bolt that mounts the engine, and it'll keep the tubing from ever collapsing from the pressure of torquing the engine bolts down. I'm going to go ahead and take these edges. I'm going to run a bevel on them with the angle grinder, and then I'll also clean off the ends. Doing a real quick test fit here with the engine. Definitely got it nice and snug. Didn't waste much space. On the front fork now, give you an idea what it's going to look like when I get done. It's something like this here. These pieces of angle iron right here, 2x2, and there's bearings in the neck tube, and then here's that piece coming down, and another piece coming here, bearings and a pivot right here, a little bit thicker piece to mount the axle through. here are the bearings I use. They're just 1 3/8 outside diameter and 1/2 inch inside diameter, and they're flange bearings, so they have this little lip on there. For me, the swing arm definitely takes a lot more time than other components of the bike. There's a lot going on as far as back here you have your hangers for your live axle bearings, and up here there's going to be a hole on either side where it'll have 5/8, I think it's 5/8 diameter, inside diameter pipe, and then I'll have these brass bushings that go in that hole as well. So these are kind of like a consumable, and it protects the steel on steel contact. And then there'll also be the bearings I showed earlier inside the swing arm pivot. So basically with this, there's a lot of stuff that has to line up with each other, and a lot of planning goes into this. So what I like to do is I just get a piece of MDF and use it as a tabletop, and I draw it out on there. Right now I have my center line, my width, and I'll even have the axle out. These steel axle hangers and the live axle bearings, they'll be mounted on the back here. You can kind of see it down there. I have some reinforcement that comes back in the shape of a triangle, and then eventually we'll mount the hydraulic brake caliper. So that's the brass bushing I was talking about. If the bolt that goes through to connect the swing arm to the center part of the frame, if the bearings were to wear out or anything, this is an added barrier from having steel on steel contact where it could wear on it. And basically this piece here, this piece right here, and you can see where the swing arm bolt goes through. I need to put this hub adapter in the front wheel to take it down to a 3/4 inch front axle.